The United States is handing out diplomas like mixtapes in Times Square, yet the national IQ is sinking faster than an Ocean Gate sub. What is wrong and how can we fix it? I'm Devin Siebold. This is the State of Teaching. Last year, the average graduation rate for public high school students was 87%. It's the highest it has ever been. Yet, most new graduates can't put that number in decimal form. Schools are under immense pressure, some with funding at stake, to push through every child to the next grade whether they deserve it or not. It's like Oprah handing out cars, but no one knows how to drive. As a result, more than 2/3 of high school graduates are leaving high school with underdeveloped reading skills. See? Even our schools are starting to feel like self-checkout. Where I live has one of the best graduation rates in the nation at 90%. Yet, Florida is ranked 45th in the nation for average SAT scores, 43rd in literacy, and first in the nation for bath salt cannibalism. It doesn't add up. Or maybe it does. I don't know. I graduated from here. What do I know? In fact, only one of the top 10 states with the highest graduation rates cracked the top 30 in literacy rates. Then there's West Virginia, the state with the highest graduation rate in the country, and the catchiest song, has the absolute lowest average SAT rate in the nation, territories included. I've heard if you're not first, you're last, but I've never heard you can be both. That's new. Why is this happening? Well, because graduation rates are tied to school performance grades, funding, and even officials' pay. That percentage gives states something to brag about in the newspapers, even if their constituents can't even read one. If we push through students based on their actual abilities, the graduation rate would drop. People would be fired and funding would be pulled. No one wants to look at the actual problem. They just want their paycheck and the public can deal with it later. Education is the real-world cyberpunk release, and we will pay for it. Imagine if flight instructors were paid based on the number of licenses issued that day. The skies would look like Mario Kart, but mostly like turtle clouds pulling people out of the ocean. The scarier part is that teachers are powerless in all this. Here's what I experienced personally. I taught government and economics to seniors, both classes that students needed to graduate. Students would start to fail my class and would be pulled without my consent to complete an online course that they could simply copy-paste questions into the browser, answer, and pass. If a student stayed in my room and failed the second semester, then I was pulled and asked what I would be able to do to get them passing. Now keep in mind, this is after the semester ended. Other than find Dr. Strange to rewind time, I got nothing. Just keep them back till they get it right? Yet, I would be pressured to give the students packets for grade recovery. If I opted to not do grade recovery, then I would be asked to provide endless documentation, including call logs, email records, meeting notes, and all their past class work to say I sufficiently did my job. It was a literal shakedown for a grade up. If one single thing was missing, they would pressure me again and say the parents were going to come for me. Is this teaching or The Godfather 3? Now, if they didn't do the recovery work or I declined, they always still graduated. Somehow, some way, they walked. Sometimes the first time I would see a student's face was when they walked across the stage to get the diploma from my class. Nice to meet you. Congratulations. Truth is, administrators have too much weight on their shoulders with graduation rates. Same as the districts, all to make the state look good and give politicians bragging rights to their sea of uneducated public. It's like bragging that you own the Pistons. Sure, they lose by 40 every night, but I drafted them. I'm Devin Siebold. This has been the State of Teaching.